Yo, welcome back. Right, we're at my brother's house here, Ollie.
Hiya.
You've seen them all before in previous videos. He's had some battery storage fitted, some solar, lots of other things. We've done a fuse board upgrade in the past, couple of years ago, 2 years ago maybe. One of the first fuse box double-din boards fitted with the dual SPDs. Not that any of you lot really care, I'm just waffling now. But what we're doing is fitting some smart home stuff. I'm rubbish with it, it's not my forte, I don't really know a lot about it. He does. He's an IT guy, heavily technical with stuff compared to me. I can fix stuff quite easy, or hit it with a hammer, but you look at specs, what's good, what's bad. He's the type of guy who look at all the reviews to make sure it's exactly what he wants. But this is all integrated in the smart home stuff, which is the app is called what?
Home Assistant.
Which does what?
It connects everything. I mean, if you're watching this, you know what Home Assistant is, then you know what it is. But yeah, basically, if you've got smart radiators, smart plugs, smart switches, smart lights, just solar. Anything smart, solar, yeah, literally anything. It means you can link it all together. You can see everything in one place and you can control everything from one place. It's pretty good. It's pretty
good. This is what I have a problem with a few different things is when we have smart tech, what I found is good is Alexa, I won't say the full word because it keeps setting people's stuff off at home, is where we can control smart lights. In my house is what I have, or a couple of sockets. But then you have other things, it's all in different apps. If you can have it all in one place, it makes sense, and you can monitor stuff as well. I know a lot of people with the solar and the battery storage end up having 2 different apps to see their input and their output on different things. So, a little bit over my head. I'm here to do the install. The reason what we're doing is...
It's the Shelly One Smart Relay. So it's Wi-Fi as well. So yeah, it means we can link it up, link it with their app, get it set up, and then after that, the boring bit for Nick, which will be connecting it to Home Assistant, and then, yeah, basically having it so we can, to start with, turn it on and off from the phones, but obviously the future I'm looking at is motion sensors in the lounge and stuff like that. So automatic lighting, on a timer, so when you're on holiday, the lights can come on and off, all sorts of stuff.
Which is good.
So, yeah.
And the reason we're doing that here is because there's 2 light fittings to the lounge, but there's 4 doorways, so it's a 4-way, well, intermediate 4-way lighting system. The mattresses are 16mm. There's a lot of cables in them because it's not just one gang switches on each one. It's 1 or 2 leading onto the kitchen, the toilet, the stairs, that sort of stuff. So it's going to go up in the loft, which is easy for us because the lounge bit here is a single-story extension with a good pitch roof. You've already been up over the weekend, found out that we've got a JB next to it, which has got our load, our switch live, our permanent feed. So I'm here to put this in an adaptable box with some stuffing glands because the way it is designed, because it's little and round, go and get it out. The light fitting, is it can be fitted in the back of a switch, it can be fitted in light fittings, but we're going to put it in an adaptable box so there's single installation contained within an enclosure. We can fix it, we can set it up, and it's easily accessible on the loft as well if we need to get to it. Okay, so I'll do the video on my channel of installation. Ol's going to do a video on his channel for the first video, hopefully, of what I'm doing, sort of, but then the technical stuff, I've sent it to Home Assistant, yeah, and the more technical stuff, and then leading it on to all of his stuff with his solar, radiator valves, cameras, lights, all that sort of stuff. Look at him trying to get a pole out to reach it. Oh God, why is there a sharp bit on it? Why? Stop. What? You can tell this is my brother, can't you? He's got himself a uni light. He's got an absolute delicious tool bag. Okay, right. Right, we all know we should be wearing masks up here. Just go with it. Does light work?
On the right, by your right hand.
I've just turned it. Oh yeah, sweet. Oh, like I said to you, my brother has already been up here and found the junction box when he was FaceTiming me the other day. So we're going to find this, figure out how much slack we have on the cables, how much we can pull it up. We'll get it where we want it so we can access it, so it's easier if something goes wrong or we need to sync it up some more. Why do you have this up here?
What is it?
3-gang MK switch that I had years ago.
That's from my first house.
Yeah, Granddad gave us this.
Yeah, that's
He bought them from a car boot years ago.
Yeah, that's like 6, 7 years old.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right, jump out the way, sorry. Are you okay? He did say this is it. Oh, for God's sake. As electricians, we all know there's going to be no slack whatsoever to be able to extend this round. So we should have, from what I saw on the picture he sent me, that's our switch cable that's sleeved up, and we've got a feed in, a feed out, and then our load, which goes to the switch, which by the looks of it is this one, to the light fitting. So we can mark out what we want. We'll have the power off in a minute. We'll pull these out. What my plan is, we're going to do an adaptable box with some stuffing glands in, see if we can pull a bit of slack back, because it is all clipped down the wood. Just down there, the light fitting, if we follow that down, it's not far off down there. That's done there, we pulled a little bit of slack on. I'm just going to have to see. This is live for now. Trust me, I'm an electrician, I know what I'm doing. Oh, anyway, one thing I'm trying to get in around my head. So here we have O1 SWL neutral. So we know that's our permanent neutral, permanent live, that's our switch live, and it's the O and the 1 that I wasn't sure on. But also it's explained from what you've done the research on is, go on, that's normal, but then the O and the 1 is what?
Yeah, so they're separate, so you can run them on basically a separate phase. So you could run them on basically a different DC circuit or different AC circuit or so on. So all we need to do basically is link the live to the 1. The 1 is an I for input.
Your permanent live,
yeah, permanent live, and then the O, or the output, is basically going to go to the light fit in. So it's a little confusing though, because you'd think that O and 1 means 0 and 1, which means on and off, but it's just in and out.
That's what you would as an IT guy,
well,
but I wouldn't take that, because in the instructions that says input, that says output.
Yep.
So it's a bit different for us, but that's going to be sat down in and around here in an AD box. I think I've got a whisker one somewhere. We can figure that out, but my biggest thing now is just doing the electrics of isolating it, extending it, pulling it where we want. I'd like it on top here so it can be accessed. And if you hear kids screaming downstairs, my daughter's here with his daughters, and it's absolute carnage. So we're up in the loft. We're actually out the way. It's quite nice, actually. I thought it was crying then.
Yep.
Oh, but his wife is here. They're not down there by themselves. Just pre-warn everyone. This is what the Easter weekend has happened. Oh dear, oh dear. So we need a whisker box, some stuffing glands. I did chuck some stuff in here. Pre-empty, my brother was going to go, can you come and do this? Whisker boxes, as you can see there. So we can use our, which ones are these? The 407s. I was actually thinking of using something all along the lines of just an adaptable box. I thought I had some bigger ones. I must be in the unit. But stuffing gland these, we'll get the tray of Wagos, Ideals out, whatever we can get our hands on. Bit of everything in here. With some 1mm so we can extend some cables, and obviously a voltage indicator so we can check the power's off and all that jazz. I'm just interested to see how it's going to link up with the Home Assistant thing, and actually how easy it is and how it works, and if it is beneficial, because like my brother was saying to me, this is a cheap way of doing it that works well, but we can only both say that's the case once we've done it and see if it actually works well. So he can explain all the technical stuff on his side of the videos. I can just install it and go, it turns on and off. So this is what I mean about the smart home stuff. All has set a computer screen up inside the lounge that monitors the battery storage, the PV, what's coming in, what's going out, the low light, all this sort of stuff, which to him, with stuff you like absolutely wicked cool, to me, just like, Jesus, get a life. I understand. If I had the same thing at my house, I'd probably be 100% the same, and I know you agree with me.
It's cool,
with that.
you know it is.
I know it's cool, and maybe it's just jealousy that I don't have it, but that's the sort of stuff he's going to be videoing and doing stuff on, of how you did this, how it works, and then the stuff inside, which is the fuse board. No, so this is the board I fitted a couple of years ago now. I never wrote anything on it. Don't shoot me in the face, my brother's house. Up and across, so we want to turn the lighting circuit off, so you can see the lights behind me. Beautiful. Right, I will get a locking off kit on that, because to be fair, no one can reach that except me, but I will do this on my due diligence, because the kids in the house and all that sort of stuff. We know we're all out with electric. You got any tape? Any tape?
Yes.
Yeah. We won't. I'll get the locking off kit. We'll run the new Mega upstairs. I'll just show you it's dead, and then I can get on with my stuff. Right. We're dead, okay? For all those people out there, oh, you never test, you never lock it off. We do. We just don't feel like we need to show everyone. Anyway, we're going to mark out. We know that's our load. We know that's our switch. The other two are ins and outs. So we've got ourselves a whisker box. We've got some stuffing glands. We've got some cable. We've got loads of Ideals here, which are the splice lines. We can extend them. I don't really know until we start to pull this off how much length we're going to need, excuse me, and if it's going to work. So let's get to it. Okay, right, we've extended one. That's your loop in. That one there is your loop out. That's our load. That's our switch. We did bring some brown sleeving up, but I tell you what, I felt slightly attached now to this brown tape they put on there. So all we're going to do now is smart home stuff. We're not going to touch any of that. Everything's going to have a link lead. So we're going to put, these are all Ideals. We're going to put all the Ideals where we need them. So we'll link all the earths out. We'll do the loop in, loop out for the live, the neutral, the switch live, and all that sort of stuff. We'll probably will put the switch return into the switch return, the load into the load, but the rest of the stuff will be bunched together, and then little link leads that we're going to cut will then go into this, because these terminations are so small that I don't want to be jamming more than 1 or 2 cables in there. Right, like we said at the beginning, what my brother explained, the I needs a permanent supply as well as the L. So we just made a little link through here. Put that in there. I've got a tiny little screwdriver somewhere in my pocket. Eeny bitty tiny living space. Our 0 will be here, which will be our supply out to the light. Neutral. And this is our permanent live here. So that'll be piggybacked with the bridge. You could have just put a 5-way Wago on it and brought 2 strappers down, or links, whatever you want to call it. But I don't have any in the loft with me. And neither of us wanted to go down to the van again. So we're putting the link in. And theoretically, we have looked at it, and there's no button, there's no switch, there's no nothing to link it to. This is now outside my boundaries of doing smart home stuff. I can do this, but now it's my brother's job to do his. So I'm going to leave. Technically, we could put the lid back on because we don't need to access it, correct?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
So ideally, it's not the neatest thing in the world. We've only had to extend one cable. We can push it back with some nice bends, like so. Get it, it's not squashed, it's sat nicely there. And then when we put the lid on, be a beautiful, hopefully, I don't have to ever come back up here ever again because there's broken glass under this foot. Right, we're out the loft. We're just figuring out the screen record thing because for old video, I don't even know how it syncs to it. If there's not a button, any smart switch or kinetic or quinetic or energy or anything like that, it's always had a button you hold for 4 seconds. It beeps. It's got a red light. If you know there's a red light and it's beeping, you think, I'll give my phone out because that'll always work. We've turned it back on. We'd like to go in there, but my daughter's just there. So we're not going to go in there because the girls are there. The lights come back on, which is sound. My brother just said there is a delay when you turn it on, so it's not instant, and I'm talking half a second.
Oh, it's nothing, but you can tell.
You can tell that there's something there. It's in, and it's working. The lights and all 4 switches are working as well, which is nice, what we want to see. So I won't record this bit. This is for his channel, but we'll jump back afterwards, and I'll show you a little bit of the home assistant stuff once we've had to play with it for half hour and actually see if it's any good. Because what I just did as a spark, you guys know, that was very simple to do. But if it's that simple and this app works very well, and it wasn't, how much was the switch?
I think it was like 13 quid.
Yeah, that's good, that is good for the stuff that's on the market now.
But that's if you buy it singularly. If you buy like 4, obviously you get them even cheaper if you do a pack of 4.
Yeah. And obviously it's very helpful that downstairs has got a loft here. Your main part of the house, you're not that lucky. But you can, if you get bigger light fittings with bigger bases, you can fit them within. So the light fitting that's in there in the lounge, theoretically, if the load and the switch and everything went to that, you could easily fit the smart switch within the ceiling. Within the fitting rather than in the loft. But it varies between. But if you had like a 2D light fitting, BT14, or one of these, absolutely easy peasy. Okay, we're both mic'd up, we're both here. We've got it linked up. Hit me. Off. On. Off. On. Are you so good? You could replace Adam maybe. So now that's set up, which was pretty simple. We just had to stand underneath it for it to find it amongst the app. Ol is now going to link it up to Home Assistant, which is the software app, whatever he's going to be using for the whole installation of his property for all the smart tech stuff. So that was simple. Setting up was simple. Now let's have a look at it on the app and see what that is actually like as well. Also, for the solar and battery storage system he's got here, I don't fit them. I've never fitted them. I'm not qualified in it. It looks fairly straightforward, but it's all the paper that goes with it. As a one-man band, I've said time and time again, when I've looked at getting into it, the amount of paperwork that is involved with battery storage and also on top with solar, it's a lot. It's a lot for a one-man band plus an apprentice. I feel like you almost have to employ office staff just to do the paperwork side. I know Jordan's getting into it. There's a lot of other people that do it. I look at a lot of people on Instagram at their beautiful installs. I'm just running through this. My brother's added this because he added a Raspberry Pi that he 3D printed a case for down here to link into the TV screen, which you saw in there. He will do a video on this. But I was just looking at the trunking, like, is that like 11, 12 grand's worth of finished product for me? And this is only me nitpicking because I know if I did that, we would be using the same size trunking all the way through that you couldn't look at. But I don't know, it's just the basic install that you can see for battery storage. Let me know, the guys out there that do it, is that usual? Is that a good system? Is that what you would normally see? Or should it be done with a bit more finesse maybe? I don't know. I'm not saying what they've done is bad because it works really well. Just if it was in a garage on display like it is now, I would feel it would need to match in and not have finger holes. You know what I mean? Right, so my brother's set up. I know the screen's getting a bit funny because of the whatever, but this is Solar Assistant, which is going to be linking into
Home Assistant.
Okay, cool. So this is exactly what you can see on the screen that's in his lounge. The battery health, power, in and out grid, inverter, all that sort of stuff. And then now we're going to go across to Home Assistant, which...
Well, I'm actually on here at the moment. I mean, I've just been testing it and so on, but I've got the solar information, which is coming across from Solar Assistant, which is on the Raspberry Pi. I've actually then got it integrated with Octopus directly, so I can get the meter readings and so on. Got a few little dials here. I'm getting solar right now with 1.7 kilowatt. And yeah, battery state of charge, current energy consumption for now and the past and so on. And what we'll be doing is actually setting up some switches for the lounge light for now.
So is this an app you can actually have on the phone as well, as an actual app,
Yeah,
or is it a login on the website?
No, so it's an app. So Home Assistant itself, you actually install it on a Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So you have that in your house. That's just a mini computer. So you have that in your house, plug it in somewhere, and you can just leave that. And then you can then use a phone app and it connects to it. So
right,
it's
okay. So it's a bit outside the boundaries of what I would know how to do it. I know with a bit of knowledge and teaching from you, my side, we could do this. But I just said to him from day one, why the hell didn't you just get smart bulbs? Like I did in my house. I was given all the stuff, like you guys know from Luseco, from BG. They sent me the smart bulbs, the smart downlights that we integrated in really well with our smart home things. Alexa, play Michael Bublé. There you go. It's going to annoy everyone. But why I said Michael Bublé? Where did that come from? Anyway, is why didn't you do that? So what reason have we used a relay rather than a smart bulb?
So I imagine you saw on the camera earlier, the bulbs I've got, I don't know the name of them, G9?
G9s,
yeah.
They are.
So I've got like 10 G9s
per fitting
on that
and
one.
There's 3 of those fittings within the lounge dining room area.
So there's lots on there. So first of all, I imagine you can get smart G9s, I imagine, but I didn't want to buy them all.
Chunky,
yeah. I didn't want to buy them all, so I wanted something that would do them all at the same time. So that would be a smart switch. But then I've got 4 switches around the room. So
which made things much worse.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
So anyway, so then the relay was the smart choice.
It was the cheaper option, and it's looked like it's worked really well. You can do it because you can easily link in your smart home stuff. So you Google, your Alexa, all that sort of stuff to it anyway.
Yeah.
Just from wiring it in, and if you've got a bit of knowledge of how to do it or sparks simply that way, it would make more sense. It really would, because the smart bulbs that we've been using at our house, lamps, Christ, bulbs go on the ground, don't say that on YouTube, Christ, are expensive. Especially the Philips Hue one, you're looking at £60, £70 per lamp. So if you were to put a relay, I like it, Max.
Yeah.
Max and Paddy reference.
But the bonus, I got it.
No, I know you would know.
Yeah.
I have to tell everyone else because they don't understand.
So, but the bonus now of what you've just said, all that stuff, Philips Hue and everything, that's kind of one thing. You have all your different apps and so on.
Yeah.
But if you want to put it all in one place,
this is the place to go.
That is where Home Assistant comes in. And yeah, I mean, you could literally go as far to say, you walk into the lounge and it turns your heating on.
So you can, like you say, you can set it in with the sensors, loads of stuff where it's just an automatic home where you set it to how you want and how you live. Let's say it registers you getting up out of bed in the morning from the hallway and it turns the heating on or the towel rail on in the bathroom or dims the lights down in an evening with a photo cell.
Turns your house alarm off, like anything.
Yeah, that's really cool. Anyway, go and check out my brother's stuff. If the video hasn't come out already, he's going to do a video series on the Home Assistant. And linking it all in. He's going to do some stuff on his battery storage of how you got the stuff on the TV in the lounge. Loads and loads of stuff. If it's not top comment here, I'll put it in future videos to let you know. Thanks for watching, guys. And any smart stuff that you guys would recommend as well, like we fitted here. What was it called again? Shelly.
Yeah, Shelly 1.
Shelly 1. Put it down below. I'll be interested to have a look at, and you can do some videos on it as well because you want to do variations and reviews of different products. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye then.
Thank you very much. Bye.